So here's the equation we got, f of x plus x squared times f of x cubed equals 0. We're given that f of 1 equals 2. We need to find the derivative at 1. So what that's going to ask us to do is differentiate this with respect to x. So that is d by dx of f of x plus x squared times f of x cubed equals 0. Now, if I differentiate this with respect to x, there's not much I can write or do here. And that's an okay thing. I'm just going to get f prime of x, derivative of x. When it comes to this part, though, I've got to use the product rule. I'll just use different letters for giggles. We'll do u and v. All right, I've got this times this. So I got to do the derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second times the first. So the derivative of the first is going to be pretty easy. Actually, you know what? Let me write these down here. U and v. U is going to be my x squared. V is going to be f of x cubed. And now let's figure out u prime and v prime. U prime should be easy. V prime, not so much. U prime is just 2x. V prime is going to be the derivative of the outside times the derivative of the inside. So the derivative of the outside is 3 times f of x squared. What's the derivative of the inside going to be?
F prime of x.
Yeah, thanks, Aiden. F prime of x. F prime of x. So let's put that all together as the derivative of this. It's going to be u prime times v plus v prime times u. So 2x times v, so 2x times f of x cubed plus v prime, which is going to be all this, times u. So I'll finish it down here. V prime times u is going to be 3 times f of x squared times f prime of x times x squared. So all of that is a derivative of what I have here in the parentheses. And that's going to equal 0. So let me clean that up a little bit and kind of write it all on one nice even line, kind of box this off to the side. So writing it all on one line together, it's going to look like this. F prime of x plus 2x f of x cubed plus, I'm going to bring this 3 out in front, 3x squared times f of x squared times f prime of x equals 0. I think I've got everything there. Now our goal is to solve for f prime of x. That way we can calculate f prime of 1. So everything that has an f prime in it, I want to keep on the left-hand side. So that would be this and this. So that means this term is going to go over to the right-hand side. When it goes over to the right-hand side, it's going to switch signs. So negative 2x f of x cubed. On the left-hand side, and I guess I'll just kind of slow this down a little bit. I've got f prime of x here and f prime of x here. So it's going to be f prime of x plus 3x squared f of x squared times f prime of x. And to help things out a little bit, even though it's not really written there, let me write in a 1 here. The reason I'm taking the time to write in a 1 is I want to make it clear what happens when I factor out the greatest common factor. The GCF here is f prime of x. So I'm going to factor that out, and it's going to leave behind a 1 plus all that. So we're going to be left with 1 plus 3x squared f of x squared times f prime of x. I'll finish up by dividing both sides by this coefficient and get f prime of x equals -2 times f of x cubed divided by all this, which is going to be 1 plus 3x squared f of x squared. Good news, we're almost done. We need to calculate f prime of 1, which is going to be -2 times 1 plus, or it's going to be -2 times 1 times f of 1 cubed divided by 1 plus 3 times 1 squared times f of 1 squared. I wasn't very consistent. I was meaning to put a 1 in red here. This is where we have to use what was given. That is f of 1 equals 2. So it's going to be -2 times 2 cubed over 1 plus 3 times 2 squared, which is going to be -16. Yeah, -16 over 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13. Whew. QED. Nice. All right, so a lot on that one. But if you want me to go back to someplace to explain something a little bit more, I'd be more than happy to. Is there anything that I could help out with someplace? Maybe I just went a little fast. All right then. Thank you.